Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Life of a Wife podcast. I'm Amanda, and as you can see, we do not have Lindsay this week, so I'm going to be trying out a solo episode, which should be fun. So let's get into it. All right, well, this is already weird because I've never done a solo episode before. Um, so yeah, but we're just gonna dive deep into talking about myself and my journey and just how I've got here. And actually, I haven't talked about this yet, but my husband and I, Mark, actually had a podcast called AM and the PM that we had, I really don't know how long, 2020 to maybe 2023 ish. So we got engaged in 2023. No, that's a total lie. We got engaged in 2022. So we had the podcast from 2020 to 2022 around-ish. We had it for about 2 years, and we got engaged in 2022. So when we got engaged, he proposed to me in this room. This is the studio in our house. It's like a little back bedroom in our house that we converted into a studio. And Lindsay and I obviously, did it up for Life of a Wife. And I love it. But Mark and I had a little area back here, and we started it back in 2020. We were like recording on our phones in a shed like this. It was pretty crazy. So, and I had no idea what I was doing. I've never even knew like what a podcast was. We just really like to talk, so we did that every week for a while, and it was really fun. But once we bought our house, we actually bought my parents' house, and got a really good deal on it. We were really lucky and really thankful with that. So once we bought this house and we started remodeling and everything, it just got way too crazy to do the podcast. And yeah, and I'll get into what Mark does for a living and everything like that, which obviously kind of has to do with why we don't do the podcast anymore. But yeah, so this is my second podcast, AM and the PM. I mean, the episodes are still up on YouTube and on all the platforms, so if you want to check it out. We were like babies. Sorry, my eye is itchy. If you're watching this, I'm like hardcore itching my eyeball right now. We were babies doing it, and he proposed to me, and that's a really funny episode. Um, so, go check it out. Like I said, we don't do it anymore, but maybe one day. Lindsay and I are having a really fun time doing this. So, yeah, I have some stuff written down that I wanted to chat about. Yeah, so like I said, Mark, he creates websites for a living. Find It Tech is his company. He builds websites and does a whole lot of stuff in the WordPress department. He's actually going to a WordPress conference in Portland, Oregon in September, so that's really exciting. And I don't know much about WordPress, but I know that he's become really successful at what he does, and he creates a lot of content, and he's also been on like several podcasts and several live streams talking about WordPress and all that stuff, all that good stuff that I don't know much about. So I'm really thankful and blessed, and I'm happy that he is so happy in his career, and it's been a journey. He went to college and graduated, I think he said it was like 6 years ago now. And he worked for Remax Select Realty for, I don't remember, like 3 years, I think, like in school and a little bit of out of school. But he always worked on the side, starting his businesses, and it's just um, really taken off. And he's actually quit. He quit Remax in 2020 as well. So it's been 4 years for that. So pretty crazy stuff. Um, yeah, I'm a toddler teacher. I work for Bright Horizons. I really like it. I've been a toddler teacher for 6 years. So, they're definitely crazy, but I couldn't really see myself doing anything else. I do, obviously, I really like this sort of thing, podcasting. Obviously, I want to get more involved in this as much as possible. And I know it's so weird to say, but like I love social media. But I do feel like I'm not the best at it, and I don't work at it as much as I should. Mark and I have always talked about one day possibly when Find It Tech really takes off that I can stay home with our baby or our children. So that's always kind of been the plan, but I will always continue to do something, whether it would be like helping him in some way or obviously doing Life of a Wife podcast. I still continue to work in different ways, even if I don't work full time. So there's a lot, but I think it's just because I'm talking by myself. I feel like I'm like saying a lot. I mean, it is a lot, but it's just so. And then this was a while ago as well, but at one point Mark was working on. He had a podcast called Fueled by Progress, and he was working on a clothing company. So we were kind of working on that together as well. Fueled by Progress. It's kind of like comfy athleisure type apparel, and Mark still has a good amount of like the t-shirts and stuff like that we worked on, and it was so fun. But like I said, this was in 2020, so like 4 years ago. We were in our early 20s, just like having fun with it, and he just started doing his own thing, so he dabbled in podcasting and dabbled in this sort of thing, the clothing company, and I mean, it's definitely like, I can't speak for him because he's not here right now, but it's definitely the clothing company is definitely something I would still want to do, and I'm sure one day he would want to do that as well. But right now, he's just building his platform up with WordPress and Find It Tech and all that sort of stuff that he's doing. So, yeah. I don't know why I'm getting like teary-eyed thinking about how far he's come. Oh my god. Okay. This is called Life of a Wife, so anyways, I'm also on my time of the month, so I'm just emotional. Okay, well, that's a good segue, I guess, because I wanted to talk about the 5 love languages. So, let me see. I obviously know them, but I like wrote them down. So I feel like they always kind of change depending on where you are in your relationship, but I think right now, like something for me that I really so I guess I'm gonna say all the 5 love languages first, just in case you don't know what they are. And it says the 5 love languages: how to connect with your partner. Acts of service, which is like running errands, cooking, completing something around the house, etc. Gifts. So, like meaningful gifts without like surprise gifts. Physical touch, hugging, kissing, holding hands, all that stuff. Quality time, giving your partner undivided attention via exclusive time together. And words of affirmation. So, right now, I think acts of service are one. Like, if I come home from work and he empties the dishwasher, I think I talked about this in our last episode. If I come home from work and he emptied the dishwasher for me, like, that just makes me so happy. Or if he, like, orders, I guess this is kind of like a gift too, but if he orders me something or gives me something useful that I can use, I can't think of like an example, but like normally it's like electronic stuff. I feel like, oh, like this will go with your phone, or I think of this as like, I guess I think of this as acts of service, but I guess it also could be a gift. But like, he is always the one that buys our chargers for the car. So like, he'll make sure that I have a charger for the car. Or yesterday I needed to charge my Apple Watch. I'm like, how do I charge my Apple Watch in this car? Can you help me? Like, and he just does that sort of stuff for me. I know that acts of service is also his for me as well. So, like today I cooked him some food and I like clean up the kitchen and just doing stuff like that. My next one is definitely quality time because we're at the house together a lot, but a lot of the times he'll be in the office working on stuff on the computer, and like obviously see him throughout the day, but for me it's really important to have that time in the evening where we can come together and watch a movie, or whatever it may be that we do, or like if we go mini golfing, or um like have dinner I mean, I don't really count having dinner like having dinner together here. That's kind of just like a normal thing, I feel like. I mean, I do consider it quality time, sitting and like having a conversation, but yeah, like watching a movie or like just hanging out together. We watch like YouTube videos all the time. It's funny. Um, we don't have to do anything crazy, but just spending one-on-one time together. Usually that ends up being in the evening after, even on the weekends, like sometimes after I do laundry and um, maybe do this, or like do stuff around the house, or I go grocery shopping. Like I do all that stuff pretty much just by myself. So just coming together and spending all that time together. So yeah, but all the other ones are definitely important, and I feel like physical touch can also be quality time, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit more about me, because I know I've talked a lot about Mark, but not necessarily about me. So I'm 27, just turned 27. Trying to embrace it. I have some gray hair in my hair, which like is so stupid to be like upset about. Like, I'm actually feeling really good about where I am in my life right now. I feel like it goes in ebbs and flows, but like we just got married in October, so we've been married for like a little over no, like about to be 7 months now. So I think I'm just feeling good about, we got married, and it definitely takes some time to settle down after the wedding and the honeymoon and all the craziness, but I feel like we're settling down, into our lives, and my sister-in-law is getting married um, in almost a year from now. So I'm just really excited to like celebrate her and do all the things for her that she did for me, and I'm just feeling really thankful for all the things. But so yeah, I'm a toddler teacher like I said, but I graduated high school in 2015. I went to like community college for a little bit. Did like 2.5 semesters, I think, and like couldn't make it through the basic math class. Like I had to start lower because I'm just like really really bad at math. Always have been. Um, couldn't make it through the basic math class. So I was like, this is just not for me. At the time, my grandma was diagnosed with cancer, and we were super, super close. I lived with her and my pap for a couple years, and I wasn't driving. I didn't have my license. I didn't get my license till I was like 19. Didn't get my first car till I was 20. So I was just like, I ended up taking a semester off, and that's when I met Mark, and my life was in shambles when I met him. And I just got out of a relationship at the time, and um, I told like the full story of how I met Mark in our first episode. So if you guys want to hear the full story, you could go listen to that. But so I met him, and I was just working at Dunkin' Donuts full time for I don't really know how long, but I was there for 4 years total. I started when I was 16, so I was there for like 4 years, 4.5 years. I don't know. Left Dunkin' Donuts to go work at Rite Aid because I wanted to be a pharmacy technician. They had like some sort of program that you could do, but I literally had to go down in money. I went from making like $8.78 to making $8.50 because that was all that Rite Aid would hire me at. Why I didn't go to Giant Eagle, I don't know. I just heard that Rite Aid had some like really good program. Basically, I don't I I never like made it to the test, but you I worked there for like 3 months. So I was a pharmacy technician. So I would like take the scripts, put everything in, and like fill the prescriptions. And then the pharmacist has to approve that before, you know, it actually like gets into it was either like ready for the person ready to go, or it would be like in a bag sitting waiting for somebody to get picked up. And then the pharmacist is the only one who's allowed to fill the narcotics prescriptions, but like we filled everything else, but they still had to like approve it before it went through. And like math is definitely involved, and I remember I had this little notebook, and I don't think I like did it like the same way like some other people did. Like some other people like did the math like a certain way, but I like feel like I had a little like I just had my little notebook, and I would look in my notebook, but eventually like I just had it memorized in my head. So I don't know. I mean, it's math as long as it's right, obviously. And the pharmacist had to approve it, but I actually became pretty good at it, and which is crazy. And I liked it, but I worked 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Like they started scheduling me till 9, and I wanted to work daylight hours, and like I worked with like a bunch of old people, which is not there's nothing wrong with older people, but I didn't have anything in common really with anyone I worked with. And then when I worked 1 to 9 p.m., it was just me and the pharmacist. So it's kind of like, oh, like I don't know. So, and I started to see like babies and stuff. Like, I don't know. And I was like, I really just want to work with kids. I really just want to work with babies. Maybe I can do both. Maybe I can do this and then work at a child care center part time. And I was like, no, you should just leave and go to a center. So, and I did go to AW Beatty Career Center for Early Childhood Education. That's how I met Lindsay. Shout out to Beatty and Miss Carrie at AW Beatty Career Center. Best teacher ever. Best, like, 2 years of my life. Like, amazing. Absolutely loved it. Um, so, yeah, but I went like 3 years without doing anything with kids and then ended up doing that. And um, I went to, I went to All About Kids. That's like a local center in my area. I worked at Kitty Academy for 3 years. And then I worked at a place near my house for a little bit. And now I'm at Bright Horizons, and I've been there for um, like like a year and 2 months. So and I really like it. It's a really good company. And yeah, so I work with toddlers, like I said. I worked with a couple different age group, but toddlers are my favorite. So love them, love that. And yeah, I don't know what else I'd be doing if I didn't work with my toddlers. So, and I've met some really great people at my new, well, I say my new job. It's still, like, I've been there a year and 2 months. So, I met Hillary, who her and I have become like best friends, and she's my co-teacher. So it's amazing. We work really well together. So I'm just super thankful. Like I said, I've worked at a couple different jobs over the years, and um, you never know who you're going to work with. I've been pretty lucky. My previous job, I worked with my friend Morgan, and we became really close and worked really well together. And now I met Hillary, and you just never know where you're going to get going into new jobs and the people you're surrounded by. So, yeah. Um, so I am like a giant, enormous Swiftie. Um, for those who don't know, I'm sure if you know me, you know. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and just some other things. Something really funny is I had on here, like, should I, so the Kansas City Chiefs are coming to Pittsburgh on Christmas to play the Steelers. And, like, ever since I found out, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have to go. It'd be so fun. Obviously, people may think I'm crazy, but I definitely think that Taylor is going to be there. I mean, it's Christmas Day. Travis will be here, obviously. Why would she not be? She's going to come for her man on Christmas Day. She's from Pennsylvania. She also, first ever time she sang in a stadium and like sang the national anthem, she sang at Heinz Field, which is crazy. So I definitely think she'll be here. And then I said to Lindsay, I was like, maybe she'll like hit up the Christmas tree farm, while she's here, you know. So, 'cause it's in Reading, Pennsylvania. So I don't remember how many hours it is from here. Like, it's not super close, but I'm about to look it up, to be honest. Hold on. How far is Reading, PA from me? I've looked this up for 4 hours. Let's look up Taylor Swift Christmas tree farm location. We were just in Lancaster and Cumru Township, Berks County, Pennsylvania. We're gonna look that up. Hold on. I'm just curious. Sorry. Cumru Township. Berks County. Oh my god, this is not working. Cumru Township, Berks County, Pennsylvania. Cumru Township, Berks. There we go. 4 hours and 5 minutes. Anyways, I don't know. But, yeah, so obviously Mark thinks I'm absolutely crazy, but I haven't let it go. So this morning he was in his office and I was there and I was like, I keep looking at tickets and every day they get more expensive. And he's like obviously so annoyed. And so we ended up purchasing the tickets. So we're going to be going to see the Kansas City Chiefs versus Steelers on Christmas Day. Just because I want to see Taylor Swift there. And they could break up. Taylor Swift could not be there. I mean, regardless, I think it would be fun, like, to go to a game on Christmas Day. First off, it's going to be absolutely freezing. If you just heard my ankle crack, my ankle just cracked. That's what that noise was, so sorry about that. That happens all the time. But I think it's going to be absolutely freezing. It may not be, though. It said last year it was like 57 on Christmas, so I feel like it hasn't really snowed in Pittsburgh. We live like super close to Heinz Field too, which is really cool. I know it's like Acrisure, but excuse me. It's nice because it's we live like 15 minutes from there, so it's nice going to like concerts or anything downtown. It's pretty easy to go. But anyways, I'm like beyond excited. Like, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so fun. But if you think I'm crazy or, is that stupid of me? Is that silly? Like, comment down below and let me know what you think. I know I'm crazy. But like, I'm just gonna have a good time. And I think Mark will have more fun at the game than he did at the Eras Tour. Which I don't agree with him, but he really likes Reputation, but besides that, he's just not super crazy into Taylor, which like I don't even like saying that, but it's just true. But I mean, he always jokes that I'm like a member of a cult or whatever, but like he obviously supports me in my endeavors and my crazy Taylor Swift endeavors whenever, we purchased these tickets together and he went to the concert with me and so that's all I could really ask for. But so more Taylor stuff. Billie Eilish came out with her new album, which everyone has been raving and raving and raving about. And honestly, I have only really listened to Lunch and Birds of a Feather. I did like a little run through of the other songs, and it's definitely good. Definitely really like them, really like the album. But I've been hearing this information, this stuff going on where Billie has actually made a comment like, who wants to go to a 3-hour show? I wouldn't want to do that to my fans. I wouldn't even want to go see my most loved person perform for 3 hours. Like, that's just silly or something like that. And obviously, we all know that she's talking about Taylor Swift. Like, who else could you be talking about? And it's just kind of, I don't know, weird shade being thrown. And I love Billie Eilish, but I don't know. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. And there were also comments made about like all the different vinyls that she has and stuff like that. So, that's kind of just like deterred me a little bit, like giving me like a bad taste in my mouth a little bit. And like, I don't want to be like that. But like, the fact that she's like actually said that stuff publicly is like kind of like the Olivia Rodrigo thing. I don't really know how much of that was like confirmed or whatever. Like, I don't know. But Billie like actually went and said this on a public platform. Obviously, she didn't say her name, but who else does 3 hour shows? Um, and I mean, I don't really blame any artist for not wanting to perform for that long because I think about Taylor doing the Eras tour all the time, and I'm like on my period right now, and I was thinking like, oh my god, like she can't just like skip a show because she's on her period. Like she has to perform. So like that's pretty crazy. So I don't know. But yeah. Um, I could eat that girl for lunch. Yeah, she dances on my tongue. Like bop, bop, and Billie's doing her thing. Like I respect it. I'm I'm serious. Like I think she has one of the most unique voices like there ever was. She did, oh, I forget what Christmas song it was, but she did like a cover of a Christmas song. It was like absolutely amazing. Um, like I love Billie. Like she's definitely in like at least my top 5 artists. So um, yeah. So I know I've already been talking about Taylor Swift for a little bit, but we're just gonna um, finish this episode up with some some more Taylor stuff, Tortured Poets Department stuff. Because what could be more Amanda than that? Um, and I was gonna talk about this with Lindsay as well, but we can, I'm sure talk about it on the next episode. Um, so I guess I just wanted to address how she has changed the Eras tour, like obviously not completely, but like what feels like completely, like bringing in the Tortured Poets department. It's definitely like a weird feeling for me because I went and saw her in June. I cannot believe it's almost a year since I saw her in June. Mark and I got like nosebleed tickets. I bought them off this guy on TikTok named Tyler. Shout out to Tyler. You literally saved my life. Um, I won't go crazy about it, but I had like a Taylor Swift bachelorette party and a bridal shower. So I was like devastated when I almost couldn't get tickets. So Tyler like saved my life. Um, we bought them off of him and we FaceTimed him and he was like really super cool and really super nice, and obviously it all worked out and I feel really lucky. And I mean, there was probably a lot of scammers out there at that time, but I was like, I'm gonna at least try, you know? So, um, but it's like whenever she did Speak Now, Taylor's version, and then she started doing Long Live, like it was definitely just bittersweet. I mean, I'm so thankful that we can watch the live streams and stuff like that, but the fact that she had like a whole new era and like we, like I can't go to it, like does kind of suck, but it's really cool to watch it. And like I always think like what is she gonna do after the Eras tour, like she's doing it for so long. Like it's crazy. I mean, the girl needs a nice big fat break, but like, and it's also crazy because like she's gonna go on tour again and then just like not do the Eras tour, or like is she gonna finish off the Eras tour with like all the Eras completed, like Reputation and Debut, and have the Torture Poet? Like I just have so many questions, so many thoughts, so many like what in the world is happening. Um, absolutely love her dress. The way she does Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. And I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street, and she actually is like levitating on that thing that she's on. Like, that's exactly how I imagined it. Absolutely amazing. Like the anger in her face. She's like, "Who's afraid?" And like, oh my gosh, like, um, the So High School dance that she does, like, absolutely perfect. Um, and I think every song that she chose to do for the air, like, I'm trying to think. Is there any that, trying to think. Let me just take a look real quick. If there's any, I don't think there's any, like, she sings, well, she doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but she doesn't do Fortnite because, like, that's Post Malone, I'm pretty sure. But who knows? I'm pretty sure she doesn't do Fortnite. Oh my god, what if I have that wrong? Down Bad by Daddy I Love Him. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. She does The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, which, that's a really good song, but like, I wouldn't have been surprised if she didn't include that. And then So High School. I'm pretty sure those are all the ones she performs, but like, and I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Like, those are all like my favorite songs, I feel like. So it's just crazy how, like, she picked those ones. I'm trying to think if there's any that she didn't perform, and I think she absolutely should have, but like, no, I think those are the ones that, you know, are the best. Like, honestly, those are like my top songs. So I just thought that was absolutely crazy, and she just does an amazing job. Like, it's, can this woman do more? Like, honestly. Um yeah, I can't really think. I mean, honestly, my favorite song is Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, and like, I don't really think that has changed. The first time I heard it, actually, I'm not gonna lie, is I heard it on TikTok and I was watching other girls listen to it. I think I like maybe heard the beginning before but didn't like listen, and their reactions were like, "Oh my god." They were like, "Oh my god, They were like, "She's screaming." They were like, "This is like a Broadway cinematic performance." And like, literally, when I sing that song, I feel like I'm on Broadway. So, it's crazy. Um One more thing about that. Um of course, we added a new era. She had to cut out some songs. So she cut out The Archer, which, I'm sorry, but like, goodbye. I've never liked The Archer. I just never have liked it. I'm sorry. I'm, like, I truly am, but I wish, like, I wish I did. And I like the meaning behind it, but no. She cut out Long Live, which, I mean, that wasn't always in it anyways, so, but she didn't, what kind of bugs me though? She didn't add anything to 1989 when, like, she came out with 1989 Taylor's version. Like, I wish she would have added, like, Is It Over Now to the 1989 set list. She definitely has done those as surprise songs and stuff like that, but 1989 Taylor's version came out like right before my wedding, um, so it has a special place in my heart because it was like the day before my rehearsal dinner. So, Long Live, yeah, like I said, was meant to be cut. The one that's it is sad, but the one just reminds me of Joe. And like I feel like she sang it like was always just like you could have been the one like um I don't actually know like if it could have been about Joe, but I feel like when she like if it was about Joe then cuz I think she was still with Joe when that was happening, but I mean one we don't really know. Two, I feel like she would sing it about him and like it was so I feel like for that time when she first came out with the Eras tour, like that was a great song. But um yeah. The Last Great American Dynasty, I think that's kind of fucked. But amazing song, amazing performance, but yeah, Tis the Damn Season. I didn't even realize that was in the set list. I love Tis the Damn Season, but it does need to be in there. Tolerated. That's the one I was most upset about. Tolerated. When the Evermore set comes on and well, actually, she doesn't open Evermore with that one, but where does she? Oh my god, it's been a little while since I've watched it, guys. Okay, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't open Evermore with it. What song does she open Evermore with? I have to find out, guys. Hold on. It's different now, though. Evermore. Yeah, Willow begins with Willow. I think the reason I like forget that because it's like, oh yeah, it's like she does like that witchy thing. She's like way before dawn, and it's like do 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 do. I think because Willow that part seems so different from the rest of the Evermore. So like in my head, that was like not first. I don't know, but Tolerate It. Yeah, I was actually heartbroken when I heard that. So, and then I forget what song is replaced by the one Invisible String. Yeah, well, yeah. I feel like I don't I haven't seen I've seen bits and pieces, but I haven't seen the whole updated tour. But I personally think if she's still doing Invisible String, which I believe she is, I think Invisible String is much more fitting for like the era, the time that she's in now. There's Invisible String tying you to me, like then you could have been the one. I'm just saying. Um, so, anyways, guys, this has been fun. Thank you for hanging out with me in my little comfy clothes. I had a really fun time doing a solo episode, but next time I'm looking forward to catching up with Lindsay. We haven't seen each other in like a couple weeks now just because our schedules have been crazy, and then today she just wasn't feeling well. So, but I've never done a solo episode before, like I said. So I was like, this is an opportunity for me to try this out, and I think it was really fun. So, yeah. Subscribe we're on all podcast platforms. Um, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the solo episode. What you want to see going forward from us. We're definitely going to have some guests on going forward. And if you have any questions or just any comments about what you thought of this, if you like this style, if you didn't, um, just let us know in the comments down below. And yeah, I can't take myself seriously. But yeah. So we Lindsay and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a great 2 weeks.